Knicks, Celtics among NBA teams likely to miss win projections. The NBA is a zero-sum game. Every season ends with 1,230 wins and 1,230 losses across the league. For one team to win more, another must lose. That's why, when I point out teams that should outperform their projected totals, I also need to identify those that will likely underperform. The following teams aren't hopeless, each has reasons for optimism, but based on realistic scenarios, I see them finishing about 3 to 6 wins below Vegas projections. Major collapses usually stem from unpredictable injury issues, and I'm not factoring those in here. I'm using BetMGM's over/under win totals from September 19th as the baseline. For reference, last season I projected Denver, Memphis, Charlotte, Washington, and the Clippers to underperform. I hit on 3 of those 5 picks, missing on Memphis by half a win and completely whiffing on LA. With that said, here are 5 teams I believe are overvalued going into 2025-26. New York Knicks, 53.5 wins. The Knicks posted 51 wins last year with Tom Thibodeau, famous for maximizing regular season victories regardless of the long-term cost. With Mike Brown replacing him, it's hard to argue they'll actually win more. New York's top 7 players are strong, but they stayed relatively healthy last season and don't have untapped upside left. Most of their core is already in or past their prime, with limited youth or trade assets to spark growth. Depth is thin, especially at forward, and their payroll restrictions limit roster flexibility. In short, a good team in a weak East, but expecting them to top last year's total feels unrealistic. Boston Celtics, 42.5 wins. Boston's main obstacle this season isn't an opponent, it's the luxury tax. With Jason Tatum sidelined, and Horford, Porzingis, Holiday, and Kornet gone, the roster looks nothing like the perennial contender fans are used to. The frontcourt, once a strength, now leans on Garza, Quetta, Boucher, and Tillman, far from the versatile shooting and switching that drove Boston's success. Plus, the front office is expected to shed salary, possibly moving Simons or Hauser by February. The Celtics could hover near the play-in tournament, but 42.5 wins assumes too much goes right. Indiana Pacers, 38.5 wins. Indiana rode a 50-win season and finals run last year, but the Achilles tear to Tyrese Halliburton completely changes the picture. Without their offensive engine, the Pacers lose their identity. Nembhard will step in at point guard, but he can't replicate Halliburton's transition playmaking. Meanwhile, Miles Turner is gone, leaving Indy with one of the league's weakest center rotations. For them to hit this number, Siakam must play at an all-star level, and multiple young players must break out. More likely, Indiana uses this year to regroup, develop prospects, and angle for a lottery pick while waiting for Halliburton's return. Portland Trail Blazers, 34.5 wins. At first glance, this number seems reachable. Portland won 36 games last season. But the math isn't that simple. Their win total already outpaced their scoring margin, and the roster's off-season changes weaken an already shaky offense. Simons is gone, Ayton's contract was bought out, and Drew Holiday, though valuable defensively, won't replace their scoring. That puts immense pressure on Scoot Henderson and Denny Avdija, neither of whom is ready to carry an NBA offense. The Blazers will defend and compete, but in the brutal West, they lack the offensive firepower to climb past this projection. Washington Wizards, 21.5 wins. Even this modest projection may be too high. Washington won 18 games last season, but their point differential ranked among the worst in league history. Their most effective players from last season are gone, and while McCollum and Middleton remain for now, both are expected to be moved or bought out before season's end. Once that happens, the Wizards will rely heavily on unproven young prospects. This roster is set up for another season of heavy losses, with the goal of securing lottery odds. Expect them to once again finish near the bottom of the league. In short, Vegas may be too optimistic about the Knicks, Celtics, Pacers, Blazers, and Wizards, all of whom face challenges that make. Stay tuned to Legend Studio as we bring you the latest updates in NBA World of Sport.